So, JC, this week Taiwan just made new 52-week highs and joined a number of other international indexes that recently hit new highs as well. What are you seeing when you look around the world at equity markets?
Added to the list, Strazza. Just another index around the world making new 52-week highs. We've been seeing it in Brazil. You and I, we talked about it in Switzerland, seeing some participation in Europe, and now Taiwan is making new highs. And let's remember, Taiwan is a lot of exposure to semiconductors, so Taiwan Semi obviously has had a heck of a run, so that helps. But to me, it's a chip story, more so than anything else, expanding into Asia. So like I said, added to the list with Brazil and Switzerland and other areas around the world that keep breaking out to new highs.
What other countries are you seeing or looking to eventually make new 52-week highs or make new 52-week highs soon? What's showing strength besides Taiwan recently?
You know, Stockholm is right there in Sweden to really add to that European group, continuing to make new highs for sure. One thing that I think stands out is Athens, right? Greece is right there pushing up against new 52-week highs. So I think it's more so not just like, okay, which ones are making new highs and which ones aren't. I think it really is just recognizing that more and more of them are breaking out to new highs, not more and more of them breaking down to new lows, right? You feel me?
Definitely. So are there particular regions that are showing relative strength, or is it kind of just a broadening story and we're kind of seeing new 52-week highs all over the place?
It's spotty, right? You got Brazil and Latin America. Japan just made new 52-week highs or new year-to-date highs. Switzerland has been making moves, right? A lot of these. But one chart that I'd like to point you to is the global Dow. It doesn't get a lot of attention. I'm not really sure why. I think it's a good way to sort of show a little bit of a broader index. Obviously, the US is about 40% of the index, but it has a lot of Europe and Asia and Brazil, obviously, as part of that. And this chart just looks great, right? These are the types of charts that we want to be buying, not the charts that we want to be selling. So, and then also look at the global 100 index making all-time highs this week. Highest prices ever for the global 100 index. So I don't think it's one area in terms of sectors. I don't think it's one area geographically either. It's pretty spotty. I think the bigger point that I think is worth recognizing is really the expansion of the breadth.
So it sounds like this is a very well-rounded global rally that's kind of taking place or coming underway. After almost 2 years of consolidation, for example, if you look at something like you just mentioned, the S&P Global 100, that went sideways since January of 2018 and it's just finally resolving to new highs. We'll see if it can sustain them, but is this the beginning of maybe a new leg higher, another cyclical bull for international equities?
I think that's what it points to, right? People talk about stocks, forget international or US. People talk about stocks like, wow, JC, a bear market's around the corner. This bull market has lasted so long. I think people are just missing it. Not only do I not think this is the end of any sort of bull market, I think a bull market is about to begin, quite frankly. So I think there's two key areas that we want to point to. We talked about all these more and more indexes making new highs, but two indexes that I want to point you to. One's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If we're above 27,000, hard to be bearish equities. And let's reiterate, Germany, those 2015 highs in Germany was a key pivot point. If we're above that, like 27,000 in the Dow, we're above the 2015 highs in Germany. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So even though I think that's not a new record high for the DAX like it is for the Dow, right?
No, we made some brief new highs before failing ultimately with the rest of the market over the last few years. But for me, that key 2015 high is the pivot point for Germany. If we're above that, I think we absolutely have to be constructive towards European equities that are doing things that we haven't seen them do in a while. We're pushing up against new highs in a lot of indexes. Even the worst ones like Athens are doing well. Look at the Euro Stoxx 600 index, which is basically flat for 20 years. I think that we want to be betting on an ultimate higher resolution for European stocks. And if Germany's above those 2015 highs, I think that's exactly the bet that we need to be making.
Well, it's definitely not bearish that we're seeing strength from some of the weakest markets like Greece, and I think we even saw new 52-week highs from Euro Stoxx 50 this week.
That's right, new 52-week highs in Europe. Think about this, Strazza. Any ETF or index that has the word Europe in it, making new 52-week highs, to me, I think invalidates really any bearish thesis. Europe leading stocks higher is not evidence of an upcoming recession.
Okay, so we'll keep on monitoring this expansion in global breadth. It's definitely a bullish development for international equities, so we'll check back in soon.
Global Dow, watch the global Dow.
You're the only one who does.